I wouldn't necessarily suggest swapping homes with like some random person, but
Good morning. Today I'm going to Paris, but right now I'm in Kent and need to head back, do more work, pack for Paris, and take the Eurostar. So I'm gonna take you along with me. I'm home now in my flat and I need to get it prepared for the girl, my friend, that I flat swap with. So this includes putting on new sheets, clearing out one of my drawers so she has room for her clothes, and just some general tidying up so she has space. I'm actually going to take out the fresh hand/face towel for her and the body towel that she can use. Okay, I don't normally bring all my hair stuff, but this time I am because my sister is flying, so she can't take as much stuff as me. So I'm just gonna bring all the hair stuff and we can share because we both have curly hair. I just bring this whenever I take the Eurostar. It's my dad's. He kindly let me have it when I moved here. But it expands to like carry-on size, so I'm gonna wear sneakers like my Nike Cortez. And then bring running shoes, and I bought some really cute like heeled ballerina shoes because I wanted that vibe. I bought them from a Spanish company, so I shipped it to my sister's apartment and she's bringing it for me, so I hope they fit. They should. I like checked their size guide and everything and even like measured my foot in centimeters. But if so, I'll also be bringing those back, so honestly more shoes than I would normally have. I would normally probably just bring the shoes I'm wearing and my running shoes, but I'll have an extra pair to bring back on the way home. Yeah, so I'm gonna start packing and do shoes, the gym, my running shoes, and hair stuff first, which is stuff I don't need right now, and then I need to pick out some outfits. Kind of stressed, but we're gonna do it. I have like 2.5 hours till I leave. I'm also still working, so I'm gonna be like packing a little bit, going back to my laptop, packing a little bit, back and forth. But luckily the morning was quite busy and now things have calmed down a little bit, so let's start packing. I bring this for my bar soap because I used bar soap and that's a good way to travel with it. It's actually an old like tobacco tin that I found at a market in Paris. Pro tip is I got one of these, just like an EU plug head, because normally I have this, which is an EU adapter, and I have to put a plug into it, as opposed to this is an EU plug head, and I can put USB-C for my MacBook and camera, and then USB for my iPhone charger. That was a very proud purchase I got last time I was in Spain. It's kind of hard because I thought like this would be my one Paris summer flat swap, but it's gonna be like raining. It's kind of gonna be London weather randomly. I think it's only been London all summer that's been cold, and then the week I go to Paris, it's cold in Paris too. Not cold, but you know. But I got this adorable like Ralph Lauren gingham print pink top for £5 at Brick Lane, at a Brick Lane charity shop. And normally I never go thrifting on Brick Lane because it's very touristy, it's super overpriced. But sometimes you can still find like good gems, and this was on the £5 rack. I happened to go, I was actually going to look for scrap fabric for making pockets. I might actually wear this top I crocheted. Yeah, I'm wearing that. I've only worn it once. I wore it on a night out with friends. But I can wear it with my sister just to be cute. We like to be extra together. I think of black and white t-shirt or just black t-shirt? Just black t-shirt. Just thinking about all the chocolate I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna stop talking now. I need to keep packing, need to do some work, but that's a little bit about the flat swap. I'll talk more about how you can maybe find your own later.
Okay, let's talk about how you can also do flat swap. So I chose Paris because I've had the opportunity to live there for different summers and for a year when I studied abroad at a French university, and I love the city. So when I was coming up to the end of my master's in the UK and got a job offer, I decided to take advantage of the fact that my work can be done remotely and I'm not required to go into our office. And that's when I decided to start looking for a flat swap. So I first got the idea when in a London housing group, which is for finding a flat in London, I had seen various different people post actually looking for flat swaps. So anywhere from Sydney to Berlin to LA. And I'm sure there are also Facebook groups that are specifically made for this purpose, but I've not personally joined any of them. I ended up posting in a Facebook group that I was already a part of from when I did live in Paris, and long story short, got put into contact with this other girl who I quickly realized I knew from Instagram. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest swapping homes with like some random person, but using your network, so whether that's through Facebook and kind of in a roundabout way, or shamelessly asking like your friend's aunt's daughter's friend who lives in your target city if they'd be interested in swapping. You might think you don't know anyone, but chances are someone you know knows someone who might want to swap with you. So like I said, there are tons of Facebook groups specifically made for this purpose. You can also reach out to your network and post in groups that you're already a part of. Another option is to go through a website, which might provide you with a bit more like reassurance that this is a safe thing to do, and to just weed out the people who wouldn't actually be interested in swapping homes. There are tons of websites. I'll list them here, and the premise of them is all the same. Sign up, often paid, which is a bit annoying, but it does mean that everyone on the platform or website had to pay to get an account and is therefore more likely to be trustworthy. But you get onto these websites or platforms, search for the place you want to go to, and send a message and ask if they'd be interested in swapping. I've never used any of these sites, so I can't personally recommend them, but I've heard great things. I know people who have done it and who have built long-lasting relationships and now swap with that person once a year or multiple times a year. I also want to recommend a few different ways of doing this. Neither of these options are actually swaps, but I think they could be good ways for meeting like-minded people and establishing a relationship where they might be interested in swapping in the future. So the first one is woofing, which I'm sure everyone has heard of. And it's basically when you travel somewhere for free or cheap. So woofing is basically when you go to a property and work there in exchange for accommodation and sometimes free meals. The downside of this is it really varies if it's a good work situation, how much free time you have to actually explore the city, how difficult the labor is going to be, so proceed with caution. However, I think if you do end up in a really good woofing situation, you could end up finding other workers or even the property owners or their family who would be interested in the same things as you, which would include flat swapping. I would recommend doing this in the city that you're most interested in order to make connections and see what the future holds, because you never know, they might be really interested in going to your city. Another option is trusted house sitters. So most of the adverts I've gotten for this have been specifically for house sitting and pet sitting in one. So if you love animals and want a very local experience, I would really recommend this. Again, it's not a swapping website, but it's a good way to make connections either with people you meet in that city or with the family themselves. Obviously, both of these options are a lot easier if you live in a place that people visit as a tourist destination. So I live in London. A lot of people visit London, and my target city is Paris. However, don't be discouraged if you think you live somewhere that no one wants to go to, because sometimes people just want a unique travel experience. They just want to live like a local, whether it's in a small town, a village, etc. I think trusted house sitters is a really good option if you want that sort of local experience, and if you like animals, I would suggest it over woofing, because while taking care of a home and of pets is definitely labor, it's not the type of work that has to be done in shifts like woofing most likely does. And if you're taking care of pets like dogs, you can probably take them everywhere. These are my suggestions. Again, there are so many different ways of doing this and of finding affordable, unique local ways to travel. So yeah, comment if you have any questions about swapping or life in London versus Paris and anything else. And subscribe if you want more content like this. I'll be coming out with more videos, crochet, making stuff, travel, deep dives, all of that.